Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to another video for our playlist Linux Zero to Hero. I am today going to be talking about special variables that we use in shell scripting, and we'll also write a sample small hello world type shell script to understand how to take input from the user and basically how to execute the shell script. So starting off, right, let's first understand the special variables that we use in shell scripting, and I'll also show the examples of their usage. Okay, so let me create a text file just first to note down or write down what kind of special variables that we have in Linux. So special variables dot txt. Okay, this is a VI editor. I'll also try to cover this in a separate video. How do we use VI editor? But yeah, right now let's just focus on special variables. So the first is, let's say, $0. So $0 is nothing but most of the time holds the name of the command, or in this case, if you execute a shell script, it will store the name of that shell script or basically the command that was executed. So for the sake of simplicity, we'll write down as this is a variable that holds name of shell script or command that was executed. Okay, then we have some positional parameters. So I assume you guys know programming languages like Java, Python, where while executing that program, at times we pass some arguments which can be further used by the program itself while getting executed. So that's what I'm talking about in shell script. If you want to execute a shell script and pass some arguments, then we have some positional parameters, and the way to use is assign numbers to them along with dollar sign. So I'll take two examples here. So one is, let's say, $1. It will hold the argument for the first positional parameter. $2, it will hold the argument for the second positional parameter. Yeah. So that's about $1, $0, $1, $2. Okay. Now I have written down this in my notepad uh, so that it would be easy for me to cover. I don't have to remember. I don't have to by mistake forget anything because I want to cover everything that I've written down. So moving on to the next one, I have dollar, and then we have hash. So dollar hash will just tell you how many positional parameters or the number of arguments in this case that we passed. So let's say you have a shell script that takes two command line arguments or two positional parameters. Then dollar hash will tell you that two parameters were passed. Okay, so dollar hash will hold the total number of arguments that were passed to the script. Okay, and now the next that we have is yeah, I'll also share the notepad that I have. It's same, nothing different, but yeah, of course it would be easier for you guys to copy paste or make notes. So yeah, I'll do that. Now we have dollar star. So dollar star will dollar hash showed you the number of arguments that were passed. Dollar star will display all the arguments as a string. Display all the command line arguments as a string. Okay. Then we have dollar at the rate. So it will display. So dollar star displayed all command line arguments as a string. This will display all command line arguments as a list. Okay. Uh, so we covered $0, $1, $2, $hash, $star, $@. What else we have? I think we have one for PID, which is $, and then we would be having one to show the exit status of the last command that was executed, which is $, and also we have $! So the dollar one, dollar dollar, okay, it will hold or let us know the process ID of the current shell or shell script. Okay, then we have $? It will let us know the exit status of the recently or last executed command. And then we have $! It will hold the PID of the last background process that was run. Okay, so these are some of the special variables that we use. Apart from this, let me see if we have anything else. I think we do have a few that I have not covered here. But again, these are very important ones, and most of the time we are going to use $0, $12, or if you have another third argument or third positional parameter, you will be using $3. So like that, $, you will be using just to note down the process IDs at times. Then you might want to know, whenever you run a process in the background, what was the PID of that process, then you would use $! So that way we would use these spatial variables. Let's start exploring the usage of these special variables. So I'll first start off with $0. First, I'll make sure that you guys are parallelly able to see uh, what does those special variables stand for. So I'll just do a cat. So yeah, I'll start with $0. I'll create a test shell script .sh here. This line we need to write down because we want to make sure that this script should use a shell called bash. Okay, so that's what it uh, denotes. Now, just like, let's say in Python you use print to display a string or anything on a console, here on a Linux prompt, Linux console, you want to display something, you would use echo. So echo, and I'll say, let's say scripts current script name is $0. Ideally, it should show us the last command, or in this case, the name of the shell script. So I'll execute at sh test.sh. Okay. So as you see, current script name is test.sh. Now let's work with some positional parameters. Let's pass two arguments. Okay. So I'll reopen the same file and edit it. Okay. I'll just comment this line. Now, so in Linux, if you want to comment anything, you just use hash at the start. Okay. Now I'll say echo first positional parameter is $1. Echo second positional parameter is $2. Okay. So I'll just save it, and let's just pass two arguments. I'll mention, let's say, first, second. Let's see. Okay, if you see the output, it's the $1 took the first argument as first, $2 which took the second argument which we had passed as second, it displayed second. So now in this case we basically passed two arguments, right? If we want to display how many number of arguments that we passed to that shell script, then we should use $hash. So let's try that. $hash, right? So I'll okay, I'll just keep this as it is. I'll even keep echo $0. Let's see, right? Everything should work as it is. Oh, I forgot to add $hash. Need to add that as well. Number of arguments are dollar hash. Okay, let's see what happens. So test.sh, oh, test.sh, first, second. Cannot open test.sh, no such file or directory. Yeah, sorry, typo. TESH, it's not TESH, it's test. Okay, so the current script name is test.sh. As you see, first positional parameter is first, second positional parameter is second, and number of arguments in this case we passed is 2, right? And let's just figure out, let's just use so I'm going to skip $* and $@ for now. Like I'll explain it at the end. Let's use $$ because we are executing a shell script, or it's an executable, right? Set of commands that we are executing. So let's just figure out what is the process ID that particular shell script has whenever it gets executed. Okay, so let's add that as well. So vi test.sh and echo, this is the process ID $. Okay, sh test.sh. This time I'll pass first argument as hello and second argument as world. Let's see. Yeah, so again, $0 in this case, the output is first line, $1 is the output of second line, $2 is the output of third line, $hash is the output of fourth line, and $dollar is the output of fifth line. Okay, so that's how we use the special variables. And as I mentioned, right, $$ and $@ So if you want to pass dollar if you want to pass arguments or positional parameters as a list, right, so you would use as $*, okay, or $@, and if you want to pass them as a string, you would use $*. Okay, so let me rephrase again. If you want to pass them as a list, it is $@, and if you want to pass them as a string, it is $*. So vi test.sh, so echo, this are parameters as a string, and here $*. Okay, echo, these are parameters as a list $@. Okay, let's just save it and execute test.sh. What should I pass? Let's say Python as the first argument and Linux as the second argument. Okay, no, let's do 0 to hero. So 0 as the first argument, hero as the second argument. Yeah, so as you see, everything is executed. This time the process ID got changed because, of course, whenever you execute and end a process, it gets killed. Like when I say exit, so what happens? A process ID, the kernel itself assigns a process ID to that shell script. Whenever the execution is finished, that process automatically gets terminated. And in this case, now new process ID is assigned. So that's how we use special variables in Linux. And I think by executing this, I also showed you how to basically create a shell script. I'll just rephrase or give a quick short overview again only for how to create a shell script. So if you want to do it on a Linux terminal, you can use editors like VI or Nano. Just type VI space the name of the script that you want to have and start typing. So in VI editor, if you want to start typing, you just have to press I. So it will start the insert mode. I'll just quickly show you again. VI test1.sh. I'll just hit enter. It created a blank file. If you see at the bottom, you can see that it has mentioned new. So if I press I, you can see insert mode is just started. So that's how I can now start I can now start typing. And if you want to save on your keyboard, press escape. Okay, that insert mode is gone. Then press colon. Okay, if you see at the left bottom of my screen, colon, then do W Q exclamation mark and just hit enter. What does this mean is just save the file and quit this prompt. Okay, and now let's just view test1.sh to see if everything was saved. Yeah, I can now start typing, as you can see. So that was about creating a small shell script, and as well as how we can use special variables whenever we think that are required. Okay, so that was about it, guys. And in the next video, we'll start creating some small shell scripts. I thought I would create a shell script that takes user input in this video itself, but I think let's keep it short. I'll make another video where I'll take some problem and I'll try to create a shell script. Okay, so that way we'll not only have practical knowledge but get a good hands-on, and you guys can also work and write those shell script as I write. So yeah, so let's meet for the next video, guys. Let's start solving some problems via writing shell scripts. Till then, have a good one, guys. See you on to the next video.